The governor was talking out of experience. He started work the very moment he was sworn in. He swung into action. And that is the same advice he's giving them. That there is no need to rest in their hands thinking that there is all the time in the world. Because your time is already ticking. Today will be counted as the day you assume the office as mayor or deputy mayor of your local government. So I think it was a wise counsel. Even myself, I took a cue from him. The day I was sworn in was the day I started work as well. And the following day I addressed in the Anambra via ABS and other media organizations. So I really think it's an important advice which we need to take seriously. You know, local government system is very important in the sense that if you want to deliver democracy dividends at the grassroots, it is an effective local government system that will see to it. And in other democracies, the most I know, you have only two tiers of government, the center and the states as federated units. But our own experience, our own constitution assigns roles to local governments. Those rules may be residual, but nonetheless, being residual doesn't mean anything. It is a constitutional creation. What that means is that our constitution contemplates the local government as a tier of government. In other words, we run 3 tiers instead of 2. And over the years in Nigeria, even in Anambra State, local government system has not been run under a democratically elected council. This is not right. And that was why Soludo, while campaigning to become governor of Anambra State, said that once he comes in, he would conduct a local government election. And that promise, a big one, he kept on Saturday by conducting a free, fair, transparent local government election in Anambra State. The first in 11 years. You know, the 2 previous administrations didn't actually run with local government, elected local government councils. They did it. P2P organized a local government election at the end of his own 11 years ago. What that means is that the implication remains that he didn't run with a local government, elected local government council for the greater part of his administration. His successor, Chief Willie Obiano, didn't even try at all, didn't even conduct. So it's a kind of an aberration that Soludo has corrected by holding an election into the council. And yes, people complained about hitches here and there. The answer, of course, could be said to have been rusty. They haven't done anything in the past 11 years. And I believe that all those hitches will be corrected in subsequent elections. Afghan Constitution makes way for direct primaries, indirect primaries, and of course, consensus, right? They choose to do consensus by passing any process that would amount to wasting of time, wasting of resources. Since they already had people who were transition council chairmen, they were lost. Not only the transition chairman, but also the councillors as well. Other political parties were at liberty to nominate their own candidates through whatever method their own constitution prescribes. That is one part of your question. The other one is an oath. Well, this is novel and strange to me. The last I heard about oath taking was the days of Gige, right? Ida Shrine. If you know Soludo, you didn't answer. Soludo doesn't have time for such fetish, esoteric practices. if you come close to him, you will know that such things are beneath his feet. Such esoteric fetish practices are beneath his feet. And just don't go there at all. There is no such oath. And let me quickly add, the role of the local government chairman or local government councils, their roles are clearly defined in text and laws, particularly the Constitution. The Constitution is clear on the rules. So, if we understand those rules and that they are protected by the Constitution and even general conventional local government administration, I wouldn't see why people should entertain a fear that the local government chairmen, now we call them mayors, that they will be tied to the apron strings of the government. It means they don't know their job. They are protected by the Constitution, and I expect them to do their job according to law. Insecurity, which we haven't completely dealt with in Anambra State, will pose challenges in some areas. I agree. There's no doubt about that. And all I can say is that there are processes being put in place, that will help in tackling more holistically the problem of insecurity in Anambra as a whole, not just in Ayala and others. I can't say more than that, right? Then, why I cannot elaborate, issues of security. I can only give you, bits and pieces. The rest you will see in action. When we start walking the talk, such will speak for itself. It won't be what I say or what I project. But all I say is that there are measures that will begin to yield fruits in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from now. That's then.
Yes,
now you wanted to know what's the template? How do we measure a performing a local government chairman? For me, it's simple. Their job essentially is residual, right? I will define their work in this way. The work of the governor or the president as the sovereign, the governor as the sovereign, is macro in nature, overall, general, the big deal. But the micro aspect of governance, right, will have to be addressed at that local level. I expect that the issue of sanitation will receive greater attention. Issue of primary education will receive greater attention in collaboration with the state. Markets should be better organized. Parks, you see people trading on the main road and all that. The local governments should be able to create parks, move some markets that are in congested areas away from the roads and so on and so forth. Sanitation. We want to see more of sanitation. We want to see them really look at the basic needs of the people in collaboration with the state government. For example, when it comes to the issue of roads, there are rural roads. They should be able to at least keep these roads motorable. You understand what I'm saying? Tarring the roads may be beyond them in many cases, but at least I know that they should be able to, patch potholes, roads that pass in their areas, and in fact keep the roads generally motorable. While the real reconstruction and construction of roads will be left to the state government. Their works are defined, We will not be expecting them to go into what we may call mega developments of their local governments, because the funds to carry out developments at that level may not be available to them. But they can work out some collaboration, with the state government. There are very critical things they can establish. Take for instance, for me, if I were a local government mayor, right, I would pay attention to issues that have to do with ICT, education, the governor is working on a policy and project he calls One Youth, Two Scales. This is serious. Local government areas should be able to key into such a programs and bring more of democracy dividends empowerment to their own people at that level. This is the way I believe we should be able to measure. But when the local government mayor is not alive to what is, I don't know whether we will say the person is performing or not. There is work to be done, even at family level. So themselves really have very serious work to do. Not on a big scale, which I say is left for state and federal government, but on a smaller scale, micro interventions, culverts. You don't expect the state government to, be constructing even ordinary culverts in every community. That should be a job for the local government mayor and his council, and many more. Like I said, why can't they put in place ICT centers, to be able to key into the innovation of the state government? The Soludo government sees the future of Anambra as predicated on innovation and technology. The base can be set up in the local government areas, but they must come handy. If they are not emphasizing that, you don't expect the state government to be doing everything. For me, the governor is divested of much powers. It is the role of the mayors now to begin to act on those powers the governor has divested himself. And from there on, Anambra will be the better for it. There is so much to be done, and a lot for the state government, and a lot also for the local government administration, the mayors, their deputies, and their councils. I expect the National Assembly should have made the constitution to deal with it. For me, so, okay? But since you have elected councils now, I believe that Soludo wants the local governments to function, right? So if ignoring the tag would mean the only way to make the local governments to work, I believe Soludo will do. You need to understand that Soludo means well. He has very big dreams for the state, and the dreams will transform the state, and the process is already on. Like a jigsaw puzzle, until the bits and pieces fall in place, the picture will not be seen. And that is what is going on now. Soludo has intervened in so many areas, ranging from infrastructure to human capital development. And he is working on the future. He wants to deal with the problems besetting the poorest of the poor. What by is being intentional in what you call inclusive growth and inclusive governance. You can see that in his policies. Let me illustrate with one or two. I talked about One Youth, Two Skills, right? Statistics has it now that as many as 70% of the graduates in Nigeria are not employed. Why? Because of the kind of education they pass through. So Soludo is saying, add something to that certificate. At least 2 skills, so that you'll be able to put food on your table. Answering graduate is not enough. And the skills being undertaken by the program range from agriculture to ICT. What that means is that no matter your interest, you can benefit from One Youth, Two Skills. That is a very intentional program and project by Soludo. It's already yielding fruits. Up to 8,000 in the Anambra have benefited from it. Another batch are already in the mail. Now, he believed that one way to deal with poverty in Anambra is through education. But not just through education, through qualitative education. That was why he had to recruit 8 to 10,000 teachers through very competitive process. What that means is that he has ended the era of schools without teachers or schools without quality teachers. He didn't stop there. Soludo has awarded scholarships. That didn't go far. He now decided to make it total by proclaiming what we call free education from primary through junior secondary, and only days ago he extended it to senior secondary. You know what that means? In the next 1 decade, people that have benefited from this free education will begin to escape the trap of poverty. You know, after the war, Ndi Igbo did much to help themselves, help one another, using what you call the Eba Boy system. That Eba Boy is the kind of thing this free education will bring. It means that the child who otherwise wouldn't have gone to school now can go to school. I don't know if you get my point. So the child who otherwise couldn't have gone to school will now go to school, and after the secondary school certificate, you can take life from them. And all these things are not going without what we call startups and upstarts and all that. There are things Soludo is intentionally doing to be able to not only conceptualize but also realize a future, an Anambra that will be prosperous and livable. When he talks about Anambra as a Dubai and Taiwan, people may not understand it. We have all the potential to be able to transform the state into that status. Those who knew Dubai 30, 40 years ago would know that Dubai was a rocky desert. Do you understand that? But through the vision of one man, Sheikh Ibn Mohammed, Dubai is now a commercial hub where the entire world comes to fly their trade and all that. Soludo believes that this Anambra has the same potential. So transforming it is what is on. It is intentionally pushing infrastructural development, programs and projects that will eventually take Anambra there. You may not see everything now. What it requires is patience, cooperation, and by the end of his tenure, Anambra will be the better for it. I keep telling the journalists, Soludo is not chasing clout. He's not chasing money, because if it is name, he made names when he was central bank governor. If it's money, he also made money, because even before he became the central bank governor, he was already a consultant to over a dozen international financial institutions, including the IMF and the World Bank. And they paid him in hard currency. So it's not a matter of money. It's not a matter of name. It's a matter of transforming Anambra into a livable, prosperous future for all of us. This is doable, all of us working together.